So there's a bug in Arc Raiders that has probably affected you without you even knowing it. It's a lot more common than you'd think, and in fact, it's gotten me killed before. That's how I found it in the first place, and don't worry, I have receipts. It's a simple concept and easy to dig down into, but it's not so easy to determine whether or not it's a bug or intended gameplay behavior. After QAing the hell out of this with a lot of different weapons, I've reached the point where I think it's a bug, and that's why I'm hoping that Embark possibly sees this and this video catches on, because I would like to see it change or at least adjust. I'm going to cover the bug today, what it is, why it's happening, and what you can do to kind of work around it, as well as a couple other things that are related to this bug that it's sparked a little bit of a discussion to that I'm going to cover later as well. So what exactly is it? By the way, as I was making this video right now, I realized that if you pull out nothing, you holster all your weapons, you have a wider field of view. The camera zooms out. I didn't know that. That's pretty cool, actually. In Arc Raiders, they chose a little bit more of a realistic ballistics simulation where the bullets actually fire out of the barrel of your gun. Now, it seems pretty obvious when I shoot like this, but watch when I go undercover behind this barricade. You can see that I have two crosshairs on my screen. There's the one in the center of the screen, which I'm calling the HUD crosshair, and the second one on the bottom left where my gun's barrel is actually looking. And you can see that as my character sways and breathes and moves as they naturally would, the barrel of the gun, that crosshair that's aligned with the barrel of the gun, that gun crosshair moves along with the barrel of the gun. It's not stable, it's not static, even though I'm not moving my aim. And when I shoot, watch what happens. It shoots the barricade, not the wall that I'm aiming at. Unlike something like Valorant or Crosshair, think Dust 2, the little boxes on a site, if you're just sitting behind cover, and as long as your crosshair is above that box, you can shoot over that box. You can have a little head glitch area. That's what's known as a head glitch. In Arc Raiders, you don't have that. The bullet comes out of where your barrel is looking. In fact, if you don't see that on your screen, it's probably because you turned off the two accessibility settings. One is move crosshair when line of fire is blocked. The other is smooth when line of fire is blocked. Now, both of these are fairly straightforward. I'm not going to go over exactly what they do, but if you do find it a little bit motion sicknessy, you can turn off the smooth setting, and that'll make it a little bit less. You can see the crosshair movement is instant now. Instead of smoothing and gliding across your screen, it's instant. Wherever the barrel is looking at that moment in time is where the crosshair is. I prefer to keep it on, but that's just personal preference. You can see the difference here. It's important to know this because where do you think my bullet is about to go? When I'm aiming behind cover behind this little barricade right here, when I click and I'm ADS, it's supposed to go at the wall, right? Well, good, it does. But watch what happens when I un-ADS and wait a total of 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, and now fire. Oh, wait a second, it didn't hit the wall. Isn't that a sweet treat? Now watch, I'll shoot again. Now watch this. Nope, not until the second bullet. In fact, I'll hold it down. I'll even prove if I spray this wall right here, ADS, I can shoot it perfectly fine. But then as soon as I let go and wait a total of 2 seconds, that's all it takes, and then start spraying, watch, my first bullet and maybe the second is not gonna hit that wall. The first bullet went right there. It's not so evident with the Rattler, but it will be more evident with the shotgun, which is where it's most likely gonna happen. Anyways, if I shoot the wall right here, it hits the wall perfectly, and then I let go for 2 seconds, and then click again here. Watch, that's where my bullets went right there. Isn't that a sweet treat? Isn't that a sweet treat? In fact, it's gotten me killed. I'll show you right here. This is the clip that sparked this whole video where I noticed it in the first place. Now watch this. I can see there's a guy on my left side. I'm about to shoulder swap right here, and I'm about to bop him in the head with my El Toro. I should win this fight 100% of the time. Wait a second. My first bullets didn't hit. I thought it was a desync. I thought my freaking bullets just did not register. Watch that again right here. Boom, where did the bullets go? Right there in the middle of the goddamn cubicle. Didn't even touch him. This pissed me off. I should have won that fight 100% of the time. The frame where I clicked, which is right here, my crosshair was reasonably on him. At least half of the crosshair was on him, but I can't tell because the crosshair's not on my screen, which is something I'm gonna talk later. And then, no, it decides to hit the cubicle. By the way, this footage right here is gamma boosted. That's not how it actually looks like in game. This is more like what it looks like in game. It's dark as hell, but if you boost up the gamma, just like maybe like right there, it's a hell of a lot easier to play. You can do this in game, by the way, by going over here into NVIDIA control panel. You open it up and you change the gamma settings for the entire display, bump that up. What I usually do for day raids raids is like 1.65, 1.7. Night raids, I go to like 1.8, 1.85, and then come down here, digital vibrance, 66%, and that's what I do. Don't press apply because when you're done playing the game, all you have to do is press cancel and it reverts everything forward. That's just a little tip for you, and if you did find that useful, you should let me know by dropping a like on the video and give me a sub while you're down there. I'd very much appreciate that. Back to what I was saying. Now that you know when it happens, you need to know how it happens in order to work around it. All the guns pretty much function the exact same. The only exceptions I found to this are the Venator and the Stitcher, and maybe the Beretta as well. But these two guns right here, they function a little bit different, because watch what happens with these two guns. I'm shooting, I on ADS, and I go from ready stance to a relaxed stance. Where's my gun pointing? The barrel is up in the air, which means that even if I were to fire right here behind cover, guess what? The bullet doesn't hit the, well, it hit the barricade because I was too far to the left, but that's not a problem. See, now it's working. Same thing with the Stitcher. If I go from a ready stance to a relaxed stance, the barrel is pointing in the air, which gives me another advantage for these two overpowered guns already. It's really different to how the shotgun function. Let me show you the shotgun one more time. Watch this. Barrel is to my left. It's going to hit the barricade. See that? These two clips make it a little bit easier to understand. If you look at the frame right before I click, which is right here before the muzzle flash, this muzzle flash, a frame before, from this frame right here. As soon as I click, there's a ray that is drawn from my barrel to where my crosshair is pointing. And in between that animation from ready stance to shooting stance, if there is anything in between that, not just this frame, the whole animation, the length of the animation, if there is anything in between that, as there is this little crossbar right here, it will deflect and hit off that crossbar. So how do you play around it? Because it is a common occurrence, like I said, this happens all the time. For example, if I'm fighting this guy right here, he's in a corridor, and I'm thirding this angle right here, I want to quickly pop this guy in the head, right? But my gun is in a relaxed stance now, and I go to peek and pop real quick, just like this. Well, guess what? My bullet is going to hit that wall. How do I get around? This is way more common than you would think. I could easily keep replicating this. Just all I have to do is just like swing, pop, and see, look, it hits that wall. How do you avoid this? Well, there are two ways. One of which I actually found right now as I was making the video. The first way is simply to ADS before you shoot. Just go like that, boom. It's that simple. But that does have a downside of making you easier to hit, and it slows you down. Go like that, it's a lot slower and you're easier to hit that way. If you don't want your character to put your gun away, like after I shoot here on this wall right here, then all I have to do is just keep giving a movement input. And my character, as long as I'm giving a movement input like this, WASD or on your controller or whatever it is, your character will not go into a relaxed stance. As long as I'm giving movement inputs like this, my character will not put the gun down. And I've been doing this for like the past minute. All I have to do then is just go around, peek like that. Well, I missed that time, but go around, peek, and then come back. It's that simple. You have to do the WASD or AD or WS, whichever one. You have to go like this if you want to be quiet, because like doing this obviously makes this noise. You can also do it crouch AD like this, and then pop like that. Either one works, but as soon as I start moving in one direction, like if I start just running forward like this, my character is going to put the gun down. It's a really weird mechanic, but once you know how it works, you can kind of work around it. It's not ideal, and the reason I'm calling it a bug is because of how the rays are drawn from your gun. If you look, for example, this right here, this is the frame right here where I click, and this is the frame where the muzzle flash actually happens. The ray of the bullet is being drawn on this frame where I click, and not the one where the muzzle flash is happening. That's why I settled on it being a bug, and it's opened up a discussion to something else. Actually, digging into this video, it's made me realize something, that 2 seconds for my gun to go from ready stance like this to 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi to relaxed stance is a very short amount of time. If I'm holding an angle, it's very unlikely that 2 seconds is going to be enough. I want to be ready. If I am in an engagement right here, holding this angle, I don't want to have to constantly be clicking ADS, because obviously that makes noise. My gun should be ready at all times. I feel like if I'm running, that makes sense. My weapon could be holstered, but if I'm moving around like this with no run, why am I in a relaxed stance? If I have my weapon out, it means I'm ready for an engagement at any time. I get it. The immersion is there when I'm just like ADSing and I let go, and now I'm just like, all right, I'm relaxed now. There's no enemy in sight. Okay, the immersion, my character puts the weapon down. I get the immersion factor, but 2 seconds just does seem way too little. Either that or a button to like toggle ready stance for the next minute or so, or an even better solution is to have the ray of the bullet be drawn on the frame that the shot is fired. That would also be nice, instead of this where the ray of the bullet is cast when I click and not where the shot is fired. It's important to the engagements and how the fights actually play out. This does need to be tuned in my opinion, unless they're doing it on purpose to make it so that thirding an angle like this is harder, so you can't just easily come out and peek like that. If they're doing it for that reason, which I doubt they're doing it for that reason, look, it just happened again and it just keeps happening and again and again. If they're doing it for that reason, I doubt they are, then I can see why, because they don't want people thirding angles like this as much. There are workarounds though. You could just like ADS, you can keep giving movement inputs. I guess maybe that would add on to the skill factor as well. I'm still leaning on the fact that it's a bug. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. Is it a bug? Should they change it? Should they fix it? Should they tune it? I'd love to hear what you guys think, and it'll also help with the engagement, so Embark has a higher chance of seeing this. That does lead me into another note though. The crosshair, for the love of God, give us a toggle right here in the settings, somewhere in accessibility or where we're doing the crosshair, to always have the crosshair up. This is a shooter and you're putting a crosshair on my screen anyways. I don't want it to disappear in 2 seconds. For the love of God, 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, and it's gone. I don't want my crosshair to disappear in 2 seconds. Give me a setting to always have it up, or at the very, or like disable it when I'm running. I understand that I'm running, cool, but if I'm here, I'm ready for an engagement. Give me my crosshair, you know? But that's the video for today, you sexy beasts. Make sure to drop a like, subscribe, comment down below for engagement, and I will see you next time. By the way, YouTube thinks you'll like this video next.